What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Kozak, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be taking out my braids after a month and 2 weeks. So a month and a half. I've had these braids in for a minute. This is what we're looking like. You can see it's definitely time to take them out. We're frizzy at the ends, we're frizzy at the roots. We are definitely looking pretty rough. This is what I used to look like before when I first got my braids. Crispy, fresh braids. I even had the most crispiest lineup to ever exist. Just the most crispiest dude ever. And this is what we look like now. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but definitely it's definitely time to take these out. If you're new to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you can continue to see my content. And since I know you're gonna love this video, go ahead and hit the like button. All right, to start off, I like to just hit my hair with a little bit of water, as you saw there, because you never want to manipulate your hair or even, mess with your hair without it being moisturized. And the ends tend to be the weakest part or the easiest part to break off, so I always make sure to moisturize the ends. It also helps to take off those rubber bands that are super tedious and super annoying to take off. And just so you guys know, this is real time. I did not speed this video up. I am an expert fast unbraider, so this is all real time. I did all of this in like 11 minutes, no cap. I have no reason to lie. Why would I ever lie to you guys?
Stop the cap.
Yeah, anyways, these little rubber bands are always a pain to get off. Normally when I take my hair out, I usually do it by hand. Now my braids, they are so small that it's so hard to do it by hand. So if you have smaller braids, if your braids aren't like large, if you don't have like straight backs in your hair, I highly recommend using a rat tail comb. You can see me using one here. What I'm doing exactly is taking the rat tail comb, the end of it, and kind of inserting it into the very end of the braid and breaking the braid apart to make it easier to unravel. If that makes any sense to you guys, I'm just sticking the rat tail comb through the very end of the braid and just pulling down, which helps to easily unravel it rather than trying to do it by hand. This is a better technique to do when you have smaller braids. Anyways, this is a little bit of a longer duration to have braids in for me. I usually take my braids out once every month, only because of the fact that I don't like when my braids look messy. You can kind of see how the roots look. Once the roots get like that for me, I'm over it. I'm already over the braids. I don't want them anymore. Just take them out, redo them. It gotta go. But that's just my personal preference. Now these braids, you can see, even though it's a little fuzzy and the roots aren't perfect, I could have definitely kept this in for at least another month for sure, with ease. But I just don't like to keep them in for anything longer than that, because of the way that it looks. I don't like my hair to look too messy. Also, I need a haircut desperately, obviously, but I don't know. I'm just kind of wolfing. I'm just kind of letting my hair thrive in its natural protective style environment. Sometimes you just gotta wolf, even though I don't have waves. But I'm wolfing with braids. It's cool. Don't even worry about it. Definitely one of the biggest benefits to braids for me is I don't always like to wear my hair in a fro. Sometimes my hair just gets on my nerves. And when you have a lot of hair, it tends to be a lot. So getting a protective style really just eases the stress of constantly having to deal with your hair. Sometimes you just want to get it out the way. You get your hair braided and you just don't have to worry about it. And that's kind of the reason that I got braids in the first place here. Also, I'm unable to wear hats. When you have an afro, you just can't wear hats. So the only time I ever get to wear hats or like a do-rag or anything is if my hair is braided. So yeah, sometimes I literally just get my hair braided just to put a hat on. No cap. Literally just to wear a beanie or something. But of course, the biggest added benefit to putting your hair in a style like this is you get new growth. You get a whole lot more growth than you would normally. You can already see new growth forming there, and it's been only a month and 2 weeks. So a lot of growth. You get your hair out of the way, you get a whole bunch of growth, and then you also get a cool style. So I highly recommend, if you aren't already getting braids fairly often, I highly recommend getting them. I usually get straight backs. I've been obsessed with straight backs all last year. This year, I don't know what's going on. I usually don't do plaits, but I started to really start liking plaits again. I don't even know why. I was like really big on getting like twist. I love twist. I love all sorts of twist, rope twist, regular twist, kamikaze twist, you can name it. I was really big on twist and I just love the way they look. But the problem that I always face with twist is that they just don't last as long. Like you can see, I already got a whole month and a half out of these. Twist, they start to look crazy around like after 3 weeks of having them in. They shrink, all of that. These plaits, they're literally the same length as when I got them. Literally, they haven't shrunk at all. And that's the great thing about getting braids versus twist. So I've really been enjoying braids lately. I don't know, I really like plaits all of a sudden, so I'm kind of just spamming plaits. As far as how often you should get your hair braided, that tends to kind of be subjective, but definitely after you take your braids out, you want to let your hair rest for at the very least 1 full week, but I usually recommend 2. I always go about 2 weeks after getting my hair braided. I wear my hair out naturally. I wash my hair, condition it, let my hair return to its normal curl pattern before getting my hair braided again. So in between that time, I usually get a haircut, and then I usually get a haircut right before I get my hair braided again. I'm gonna get a haircut now because obviously I need one, but I usually get a haircut right after getting my hair braided, right after that 1 month span. But yeah, on a serious note, besides, like actually speeding this video up, this took me a very long time. So that's one thing I'll say that's definitely a downside to getting plaits, especially if you get a lot in your head. They take so long to take out, especially if they're smaller. If you get like smaller plaits and you get a lot in your head, good luck, because this took me at least an hour to do. And you can literally tell that like I'm starting to get annoyed, and I'm starting to come to the realization of just like how long this is actually taking me. Normally whenever I take my hair out, I'll usually do it while like I'm in my own room watching something, so it just goes by a lot faster when you're not paying attention to it. But when like being forced to pay attention to like me actually taking my hair out and doing it all in like one sitting, yeah man, I just highly don't recommend it. So if you can get help like to take down your hair, or like I don't know, you get your sister, your mom to like do half of your head while you do the other half or whatever, yeah, just a blessing, because this is really it takes a long time. If you're not prepared to spend a whole like hour taking out your hair, then yeah, I wouldn't recommend plaits. Cornrows might be the better style for you, because that's like super easy to take out. It's literally just a couple of cornrows. They're bigger, so you can literally take them out by hand. The most tedious part will be just taking out the rubber band on the ends. But yeah, and you know that it's really serious, because if you haven't noticed, I've literally stopped standing up and had to go sit down. That's how serious this got. So yeah, just heads up on if you're gonna get plaits. But I'm telling you one thing, they look super crispy though. They for sure look super crispy though. Now, is this gonna stop me from getting plaits? Probably not. But is this gonna make me think twice about getting them? Definitely. I'm for sure probably just gonna go for like bigger plaits, because yeah, this is a bit of work. Whenever you are taking out your braids, whatever protective style you have in, you always want to take your time and be gentle. You can see me taking my time here, slowly separating my hair, making sure that I'm being gentle and as cautious as I possibly can, because while taking your hair out, you don't want to be rough, because you're just going to create unnecessary breakage and unnecessary damage that just, you could literally avoid if you just took a little bit more time and spent your time detangling your hair properly. That's exactly why it took me so long, because I'm always cautious, I'm always careful, and I always take my time. Another thing, a little tip while you are taking your hair out or taking your braids out, something that you can do to make it a lot easier to properly like detangle your hair and make sure you get like all of the stray hairs or like dead hairs out of your hair, is to keep in mind that your hair is going to be a lot straighter than it normally is. Even though your hair looks wavy, you can see my hair looks pretty wavy here. On a normal basis, my regular hair texture is a lot more kinky. So if you detangle your hair or you comb through your hair right now, when you wash your hair, it's going to be a lot easier. If you're going for a twist out, then I recommend not doing this step. But if you just plan on washing your hair like I do immediately after you get your braids out, I recommend just going through with a comb and just, you know, straightening those hairs out, and then it's going to help to also remove those dead hairs or the hairs that shedded during this process. Bro, I don't think shedded is a word. Is it shed? The hairs that shed during I don't know, man. Listen, I speak English, but like my parents aren't from here, so like I'm like in the middle of two different cultures, so it's kind of hard. So if y'all ever hear me like mispronounce a word or say a word that doesn't exist, just know that's probably why. This is a great time to remind you guys to subscribe. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so that you can stay notified. If you care about your hair, which I know you do, then this is definitely the channel for you. So subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you can continue to see my videos. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. I'm going to try my best to respond to almost all of the comments, as many comments as I possibly can. So drop your questions down below and I'll get back to you. All right, by this point, we're basically finished. We're on our very last braid here. You can see just how focused and in the zone I am. I literally had to start watching a video because I got so bored. I was watching videos throughout this entire video. I was listening to music. I literally got on the phone at some point. I highly recommend that you keep yourself entertained while doing this, or you might just lose it, because an hour detangling your hair is crazy. Even though this is the very last one and we're nearing the very end, I am still being sure to be delicate, still being sure to be gentle, and taking my time detangling my hair because we want to avoid damage. By this point, I don't even care about a twist out. I don't even care about I don't even care at this point. I'm just ready to go. I'm about ready to go. I'm about ready to just wash my hair and get it over with. I'm like tired. All right, just finishing up the final little details here, making sure we have nothing on the ends of our hair. We're taking down this little puff ball that we got going on. And then, yeah, at this point, we're just going to just detangle our hair a little bit more. Again, we're not focused on a twist out. We just want to detangle our hair to make it easier to detangle later after we get in the shower and wash it. So using a wider tooth comb here, it makes it a lot easier to detangle because our hair is curlier and kinkier, so a wider tooth comb is going to be more appropriate. And again, by combing our hair before we hop in the shower, it's going to help us to grab all of that hair that shed, as well as help it to be easier to detangle when we are in the shower. But yeah, man, the plan here is to go ahead and wash and shampoo my hair, condition it, deep condition it, and then put a leave-in conditioner, put all the moisture back in my hair. This is how much hair shed before hopping in the shower. You know, a decent amount of hair. If you have like a lot more hair than this or less hair than this, that's probably fine. It's only ever an issue if you have like a significantly dramatic amount of hair. Then at that point you're probably going bald, and I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with you. You should see a doctor immediately. But this is what I'm looking like after the shower. So we shampooed, we conditioned, we deep conditioned, and then lastly I put in a leave-in conditioner. I like to let my hair air dry, so that's exactly what I'm gonna go do. But if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you found it helpful at all, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you can stay notified for more tips, tricks, hacks, and more. But yeah, that's all the time that I have for you guys today. I'm xxxx, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out.